we are installing a new high efficiency boiler and removing it from outside and putting it into the kitchen, because at the moment, while it was outside during the winter months, it was coming on in very cold weather, obviously to protect itself, but because it's coming on in periods where the householder didn't require it, it was wasting energy. So by bringing it into the house and removing any external pipework, she'll save money.
What made me decide to change my boiler was that the boiler I had in this house was very old. It was here when I moved in, and it was at least 15 years old, and it was an unrated boiler, which means its efficiency is probably less than 70%, so it's a very old, inefficient boiler. So it wasn't that it had broken down, it was more that I wanted to improve the energy efficiency of the house by getting a more efficient boiler.
A new boiler is going to save you sort of 20–25% on a standard efficiency boiler, but also having controls on the system like thermostatic radiator valves, programmable thermostats are going to add more efficiency, because if you've got thermostats that are actually turning the system off when the room and the house is up to temperature, well, there's nothing more economical than off. And if you've got radiator thermostats in rooms, spare rooms, studies, or areas of the house that you're not living in day to day, and you can set them down on a lower temperature, then you could have 2, 3, 4, 5 radiators that aren't actually heating up all the time, which again could be half the energy in the house.
There's quite a wide choice of A-rated boilers, but I decided I wanted to go to a local heating engineer, Tim Inchley, and he came to me with some brochures, and he talked me through the Baxi Ecotech, which is the one I've got, and also another boiler by Valent, because those are the boilers that he was familiar with, and he was able to offer me a longer warranty, a 5-year warranty, if I went with the Baxi boiler that he fits.
With the newer boilers, they're using the products of combustion to reheat and recycle around again, so they're taking all that heat from the products of combustion and using it, so the boiler runs much more efficiently, whereas the old ones didn't recycle all that heat being lost up the flue, and therefore all that heat was going straight up the flue. So you can get them, I think they're about 90% efficiency now, aren't they?
91%.
On the combi boilers, you haven't got tanks in the loft which can be susceptible to freezing. You're only on the hot water side heating up the water that you're actually using, whereas on a stored water system you've got 250 litres of stored water in a tank, which is effectively just losing heat into the airing cupboard. So on the combi boiler you're just using exactly what you draw off through the hot water tap, and there's nothing stored at all.
It's not just about the financial saving. For me, it's also about saving carbon, and I think work that out, it's probably about 1/2 ton of carbon I'll save a year. So I'm being very keen to do as much as I can with this house to reduce my carbon footprint. So I've done things like have secondary glazing installed. I've looked at things like draft proofing as well. So it's not, for me, it's not just about the money. I think if you didn't have to have your boiler moved, you might get a better payback. But for me, it was, as I said, it was partly about the environment and reducing my carbon footprint.